In this video, we're going to be talking about how you can use the Virtual Robotics Toolkit as your own personal calculator. Now, a couple things you need are the Virtual Robotics Toolkit, of course, the EV3 software, which we'll use for programming, and a little bit of creativity. So this is great for students, this is great for parents, teachers, and a really easy project just to get started with the basics of math. So if you're ready, let's get started. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you are all set up with the Virtual Robotics Toolkit and the EV3 Programming environment. So one of the big things that you need to make sure is that you have obviously a project open in the Virtual Robotics Toolkit right here. And then you also want to make sure that you have your blank EV3 Programming project open as well. The second big thing is make sure that your EV3 vehicle, so the virtual vehicle, is connected to the Virtual Robotics Toolkit here. So you can do that just by turning on the virtual brick if you haven't already by clicking the middle button. Find the math block. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the left. And then drag it in at the beginning. So for those of you who don't know, this math block basically is a way to do addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and there's a bunch of other types of math you can do with it. Right now it's in addition mode, so you can see that A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, and then there's some result that you get from there. Now, this is saying 1 plus 1, so A plus B, 1 plus 1 is equal to something. Now, what that result is, I'm not very good at math, so I have no clue. But what we're going to do is try to figure out just by using the virtual brick as a calculator. Right now, we can see that the result comes from here. And we want to be able to display this result on the brick. We want the result to show up if we run the program. To do that, we need a display block. The display block is in the green tab here, just the first one. And pull in the display block. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th from the left as well. Pull that in right after the math block. And then make sure that it's set to text and then text pixels. This is basically just saying, show me the results like in a normal font, I guess you could say. Just it shows up as if you printed it off your computer in a sense. So it's showing up as text, but right here in the top right hand corner, that's the text that's going to display when you run the program. So let's see what happens. Click play. Well, something happened. We couldn't quite see, but anyway, it was showing this Mindstorms text right there. You want to click there, click wired, and when you click wired, that just basically lets you connect the two blocks together. So let's try this out. Click run, and nothing happened. We don't really know what happened there. Why isn't it working? What is going on here? And then you remember, oh, I need to connect the two blocks together. So in order to do that, drag the result box here. So 1 plus 1 equals something. Drag the result box, connect it to the text right here, T for text, and then drop it. So those two are now connected. The result of this equation is going to show up on the brick, and everything looks good. Let's try that. Let's click play. And something happened on the brick. It was definitely a good thing, but why couldn't we see the result? Let's try that one more time. If you click play, it flickers and we can't really see anything. I mean, maybe if you had very good eyesight, you could read that, but my eyes aren't great enough to read that very quickly. So you're going to want to make sure that the result shows up for a longer period of time. You want to be able to read what it actually comes out to. So how do we do that? Like, what you can do is you can go to the orange tab here and you can tell the brick to wait. Say, okay, show me the result on the brick. Show me what 1 plus 1 is equal to. Display it on the brick, but then wait, and then let me actually read what it says. So we can drag this wait block in, and this is the type of wait block that's not going to hurt you if it falls on you. This is a wait block that is saying, just hang on for 1 second, and then show me what the result is. So right now, it's going to say the result, display on the brick, display for 1 second. Just hold on for just a single second. So we're going to try that right now. And click play. And there, we got that to work. So it said 2 on the brick. I'm going to show you one more time. Now it says 2. Now if you blink, you might miss that. It's really quick. So what you can also do is change the number of seconds so that it displays for a longer period of time. If you want it to show up for 3 seconds, then you just take 3. You can also type in 10 seconds. That's a really long time, but let's just set it to 3. And we're going to click play. And there, it's showing up and is letting us read it. It's on the screen on the brick for 3 seconds. And you can obviously see that the result of 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. And our calculator is working great. To test this one more time, we can change the math block to something else, to subtraction, to division, multiplication, anything like that. Now this will work with any of the types of math that you can do with this block. Let's try subtraction. Now since everything is still connected, it should still work. Basically now this is saying the result of 1 minus 1 is equal to something, and then we want that to display on the screen for 3 seconds as well. So click play, and we get the result is 0. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 0, and so that's great. You can quickly check and see that 1 minus 1 is in fact equal to 0, and yeah, it's all working. So that's how you use the Virtual Robotics Toolkit as your own calculator. This isn't great if you want to take it somewhere, and maybe if you're wanting to calculate things while on the move, on the road, but if you're at home testing things out and using the Virtual Robotics Toolkit, it's a great little project for you to try out. So take a look, see if you can do it yourself, and if you have any trouble, email support@cognation.com. That's support@cognation.com. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.